this morning, I am actually going to issue a bit of a trigger warning. There will be some things that might be upsetting to certain people. If you feel you need to tap out for whatever reason, completely understandable.
What are our trigger warnings? That you know of.
That I know of for sure. Things to do with eyeballs. There is also slight body horror involved as well. And potentially things involving children.
Got my attention.
So if any of those things could potentially harm your mental health, do not feel you need to listen into this episode, and you will get the footnotes during the next episode of what happened. That being said, we are ready to start. Let me just get everything set up real fast. The veil. An invisible barrier that separates the earthly and spiritual realms. Most of the time, the veil can be as strong as the Great Wall of China. Other times, it is as thin as wet rice paper. Most of the time, it is advised not to try interacting with those on the other side of the veil. Not everything there is benevolent or even neutral. There are some things that are better off not being invited into the land of the living again. However, sometimes you need to peer through the looking glass in order to truly see what is there and get the answers you seek. Episode 5, Piercing the Veil. Hello, Echo. How are we?
Excited to get things going. Excited to see how things turn out. And for the first time in my life, I feel like there's so much more to see. Like there's actually some sort of hope. Like there's actually some sort of meaning for me being here. I've had this whole new world opened up to me. This whole other existence. Something I never thought existed. Hoped, but never really knew. And now there's just so much to explore in this world. I don't know where to start.
Indeed. As you know, earlier this evening, you had discovered that something has been messing in your apartment. Someone or something had dumped a glass of water onto your bag, potentially frying 2 of your burner phones, soaking your notebook that you use to jot down things you need to know, need to remember, and the words underlined in ink you did not use, "Get out." There was also a matter with your car, but that's not the focus of what's happening right now. Right now you have asked for the assistance of Ro, a talented blood witch, to help get the answers and potentially form an alliance with some specters. And that is where we lead into. Currently, Ro is lighting some candles. Charlie had to run to the car to get a steak in case things get a bit too spicy. She is lighting some candles, humming softly to herself as she prepares. You think it's some sort of ritual. You're not 100% sure, but you can tell it's something that needs to be done for whatever she is planning to do. Eric is standing to the side, awkwardly, clearly not sure how things are going to go, but
Chris?
He's there to support you. Chris is there. Chris is there to support you. He's not sure what's going on, but he's going to try his best, gosh darn it, against his better judgment. What are you doing?
I'm going to look over at Chris. Just for a moment. I'm not sure what you're going to see tonight. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm not sure how any of this works. This is all new to me as well. But
Okay.
I've got you.
All right. Apparently we're a seance. This is kind of reminding me of like my little cousin's sleepovers with the Ouija board.
This isn't child's play.
Clearly. But
And then I'll look over, and then Echo will look over at Ro. Do you need a hand with anything?
Well, she's currently looking around the apartment, looking somewhat confused, but also it doesn't even seem like she's looking at you or Chris. Currently, I'm just trying to figure out where it is, because I think it's hiding. Whatever it is. She finishes lighting one candle and stuffs out the match, putting it into a small mint tin that she seems to have that has a bunch of other burnt out matchsticks. We will have to go over the rules of this, because if we don't follow the rules, bad shit happens.
All right, let's have it.
Okay, so first and foremost, we can't ask complex questions.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, some ghosts, very smart, very intelligent. Because if you upset the ghost too much, it puts more of a drain on me trying to keep them under control, and if they get under control, I have to end it quickly, and that can end with me getting hangry.
Understood.
Don't leave the table until I say so, because that could effectively break the circle, which means the ghost gets more powerful, basically.
Understood.
And we don't know what it is. Also, we can't ask the spirit to stay longer than it wants to.
Understood.
Those are the main ones. Also, she points at Chris. Not Chris. Yes, Chris?
Chris.
Yes, Chris. She points at Chris. You cannot tell anyone what you see. I thought that was a given, but no. You can't tell anyone what you see. There a reason Echo's not being told this? Because I assume Echo knows. Like, Bro looks at you. I assume you know you can't talk about this kind of shit.
Doesn't get talked about with anybody else. With anybody outside this room.
Got it. Good. Perfect. Charlie has reappeared with opening. Charlie opens the door, closes it behind him, locks it. As he walks over, you do see in his belt loop a very nice looking wooden stake that's been like sanded down to be smooth. And he looks at Ro like, we good? And she nods. Yes, we do need to make sure we have an extra chair.
I will go and grab one and bring it back and put it at...
Perfect, because...
Sorry, go ahead.
Perfect, because we're going to need 1, 2... Yeah, we'll need 5 chairs, because we need one for our visitor.
Indeed. I'll grab the 5
Perfect.
chairs, set them up.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to sit here. You guys can sit at either end, and I need the ghost's chair directly diagonal from me.
And I will set those chairs up as requested. To the letter.
All right, perfect. Excellent. Ro takes a seat at one end of the table. Charlie instantly sits down beside her. This seems to be something he's seen a couple of times before because he seems unfazed by everything, and yeah, he's just like waiting. Glances at you guys.
I will have a seat in the chair, and I'll motion for Chris to do the same. In for a penny, in for a pound, buddy. Let's do this.
Let's summon a ghost, he says as he sits down in one of the chairs, leaving the one directly across from Ro empty. Ro picks up the silver chalice, the one that has the inlays of citrine and opal, gives it a soft kiss before placing it down directly in front of her. Picking up the dagger, she begins to speak softly to herself. You think it might be Latin? You're not 100% sure. Actually, you have a point in linguistics, don't you?
I believe I do. Let me go check. I do.
Okay, in that case, roll me...
I speak English and French.
Okay, you speak English and French. Roll me intelligence and academics.
Intelligence. And intelligence is 3. Academics is 1. And I have 1 point of hunger, so one of those dice gets replaced. Three successes.
You're pretty sure it's Latin. You recognize a few of the Latin phrases.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it seems to be of blood, to blood, just along those lines, which makes perfect sense as Ro holds her hand above the chalice, takes her dagger, slices her hand, and lets her blood slowly run down. It's thicker than blood you've seen, whereas most of the time it flows similar to that of water. This almost seems to like fall out of her hand in almost a sludge-like matter as she continues to say the spell. Her eyes, that glowing blood orange color like molten fire. As the blood slowly hits the chalice begins to steam. Smoke coming out of it in this like orange and purple color as she remains completely focused. You see, as she's speaking, the corners of her lips go back a bit, almost as if she's trying to hide a grimace, her fangs seeming to get just that little bit sharper as she stays focused. Closing her hand, she has the skin slowly knit itself together as she brings her hands and cups the chalice, holding it close to her as she focuses on the blood, the contents slowly swirling inside this silver chalice as it slowly evaporates into this strange mist. And let's see. In the chair across from her, slowly the mist seems to go over, beginning to take form. It slowly starts to materialize. It takes you a moment to see the incorporeal shape of a young boy, appearing no older than 10 years old. He has short, sleek back hair, is wearing a collared shirt with trousers and suspenders.
Echo's gonna look over at the boy in the chair across from Ro. They're not really gonna say anything. Just watch for a moment.
The ghost seems to see the movement and like looks towards movement as you had looked at them, and you see that although one side of their face is almost unblemished aside from maybe just regular skin, you see the other side of his face. Large pieces of shrapnel are embedded into his cheek and his mouth. A long piece, actually, jetting out of his eyeball, moving with his eye as he looks at you and tilts his head.
Who are you?
Hi.
Hi.
What? My name's technically Benjamin, but I go by Beans.
Beans.
Mhm.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How'd I get here?
We asked you to come and just have a chat with us for a moment.
Okay. Am I in trouble?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Okay.
All right. I wanted to meet you. You've been around the building a fair bit. Yes? You live here?
Mm-hmm. Yes. This is actually my apartment.
Oh, wow.
Well, my parents' apartment.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
With
You.
me? A lot's happened with me. Like me and my best friend, we go on adventures around the block, although we go to places we really aren't supposed to, but it's fine because we're having fun. And my mom always says like boys will be boys, but eh.
Michael kind of smiles for a moment. So what do you do for fun? Like around here, here.
I like to play pranks on my best friend.
Such as?
So you know the light bulbs?
Yeah.
I make them fizzle out.
Who's your best friend?
Frank!
Frank.
Yeah, we were called Frank and Beans.
Has he talked to you at all recently?
No. I think I'm not sure if he's mad or sad or he's just ignoring me. It kind of sucks.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's why I keep making the light bulbs fizzle out. I think it's funny.
Can you... Have you ever let him know that you're there? That you've... Have you ever, like, shown up for him at all?
Well, I try. But he's also getting, like, super old. So he can't really see me.
I'm sorry. I can't imagine what that's
It's
like.
okay. It happens. I used to play with his granddaughter when she was little, like my age. But she stopped being able to see me too.
When did that happen?
I think when she turned, like, I don't know, when she became like a teenager, maybe? I was told that can happen sometimes when people stop believing.
That's interesting. I know you're here. We know you're here. Which
Yeah, you're in my apartment.
means we should be able to see you.
Well, yeah, I try, but some people can't see me. She can see me, he says, pointing at Ro, who's staying very quiet, clearly still focusing, but her eyes have not left Beans.
I think she can teach me to see you. And I'll tell you what,
Really?
I want to be friends.
Can you help me pull pranks?
I think so, absolutely. I have some ideas, actually. We can take this place, we can, make it our own, make it all nice and cozy and warm, and just make it a place for us.
What's in it for me?
You get a friend, and talk to somebody, chat about whatever you want. Somebody who's... Are a lot of people scared when you come around and play pranks?
Well, I can only really mess with the light bulbs, so not really. Sometimes, though, if I concentrate really hard, I can mess with the boiler, though I don't like going down there too often.
Why not?
I think something bad happened down there, he says as he gently scratches the side of his face.
I think something bad happened down there.
Yeah. I don't remember it, but I don't like going down there too often. Sometimes I do, though, and I can, really mess with it if I want to. But it makes me feel yucky.
It's understandable. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You apologize a lot.
Yeah. I tend to have that habit. It just makes people know that even if I don't understand, that I hear what they're saying, if that makes sense, that I understand what they're saying, and I kind of feel for them. You know?
I mean, that kind of makes sense. Frank used to apologize a lot, too. He would try and say he was sorry to me a lot back when I became like this.
He used to say sorry a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that. If you can't...
It's kind of fuzzy.
If you can't, that's okay. No pressure.
Well, I want to, but... So, it was raining.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a really bad storm. So me and Frank couldn't go outside to play.
Mm-hmm.
But my parents were arguing a lot, so I didn't want to hang out with them because they were being gross and mean, and my dad smelled bad because he went on one of his benders again.
Drinking?
Yeah. He worked at the factory, so it was rough. So I went to go hang out with Frank, but Frank was all like, I can't help. I gotta help my parents. His parents owned the building. So he had to help, and he said he had to go clean downstairs in the boiler room. And I said, okay, well, I'll go down. How about this? You have chores you have to do. What if I go clean the boiler room and you clean up the front entrance, because those were his two chores. He had to clean up there and dust and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, if I go downstairs and I clean the boiler room and give it dusting and stuff, then we can play. And he said, sure. And I went down to the boiler room. It had been making weird sounds the past week or so, and it was turning on and off again. It was being weird. But I went downstairs to sweep up and stuff, and
Don't push yourself, okay? It's okay. It's okay.
Something bad happened, I think.
We're not gonna go there. I don't wanna. Don't worry about it. I was just curious, that's all.
It's okay. He said sorry to me a lot, though, and I think there were people in white came by
People in white?
after that. Yeah. Yeah, I think I went into... They put me on one of those beds with the wheels on it. And Frank was saying he was sorry, and I said it was okay, but then I think I fell asleep. And then I woke up here.
Okay. If I can teach her to show me how to see you, maybe we could, I don't know, maybe we could play.
What would you want me to do? Because you're using a tone my mom uses whenever she's talking to people and trying to sell stuff.
No. You just seem like you need a friend, that's all.
Would I be your only friend, or would you want to talk to the others?
The others?
Yeah.
What others?
Well, I think there's a few more like me here. I don't talk to them too often.
Why not?
He looks around nervously before, like, leaning in as if he's telling a secret. I think one of them's really mean.
Mean how?
They keep... So you know how I like to, like, mess with the lights?
Yeah.
Well, Frank has to get up on the ladder to do that.
Yeah.
And this guy tries to make the ladder shake. They've been here longer than... No, wait. Time's weird. I'm not sure if they've been around the same amount of time as me, or if they're new, or older. Time's weird.
It can be like that.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes the person, I don't know who they are. I avoid them. I hang out with one of the others more. She's nicer to me. The mean one sometimes makes the other families uncomfortable, and I think they did something to one of the babies.
I see.
I don't think you should talk to that one. They're mean.
I'll keep that in mind.
I want something else if we're gonna be friends, because
What's that?
I think you can help me get something that I can't get by myself.
What's that?
I want a dog.
You want a dog?
I want a dog. A big dog, not a little dog. We had someone live here once with a little dog. I think it was like a Chihuahua or a Yorkie. That's not a dog, that's a rat. A rat with like a fancy coat. But yeah, I want a big dog.
What?
To hang out with. Because you sleep during the day now.
I do.
It's weird.
Yeah, things have happened. I'm not the same person I was when I moved in.
That's okay.
I'm more like you in a lot.
I'm not the same person I was either.
I'm more like you in a lot of ways.
Can you walk through walls too?
Not exactly, but I can do this, and I'm gonna roll a rouse check.
Okay.
That's a success. That's a 6.
You're doing very well with your rouse checks lately.
Apparently. And I'm going to pop unseen passage, and I'm not going to leave the chair. Just disappear for a second in the chair, and then come right back.
That's so cool! You are like me!
In a lot of ways.
Only I'm invisible most of the time.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to see if she can teach me how to see you. And if we can make that work, It may take me a bit, but if we can make that work, then you can come and talk to me and tell me whatever you want. We can just chat, we can hang out, we can play. I'll see about getting you a dog. I'll see about getting you a dog.
I think, yeah, because dogs are great. Dogs can see us.
Do you know what kind of dog you want?
I want a big one.
There's many, many big dogs.
I know, but like I also know there's like a lot of them. So I just want a big dog because one of our neighbors used to have a big dog. It was very fluffy. It howled a lot though. I thought that was funny though.
Do you know what kind of color it was?
It was white and black.
White and black. Okay. I'll see about the possibility of getting a dog.
Okay.
If I'm gonna do that though, I'm gonna need you to do something for me.
I knew it.
I'm not trying to sell you anything. You're welcome to tell me no.
Because I don't got money.
I'm not asking for money.
I might have a dime.
You can have more than a dime.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. I want to make this place ours. I'm gonna make something.
Okay.
New. Make it all nice and homey and cozy. I want to start from the ground up. Very beginning. But to do that, the other people that live here, I'm going to need them to go. Other than Frank and his granddaughter.
Okay. I was going to say, because Frank's my best friend. We can't make him leave.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't ask you to do that if he's your best friend. But we're going to need the other people to go. And then I'm going to start slowly bringing people in. People that are a little more friendly. What do you think?
Can you make... I mean, I'm all for it. Can you make sure there's no more babies, though?
I will see what I can do.
Okay. Because the parents were really sad after the thing.
Yeah. I can understand that. And then maybe we'll see what we can do about some of the others. Maybe we can help them, like, heal themselves, or we can help them be a little happier. I don't know how that would work, but we'll figure something out. What do you say?
I'd say we should shake on it, but I've tried that before and it doesn't work.
I think just agreeing to it will be fine.
Okay. All right. It could be fun. It'd be nice to have someone that could see me. Like I said, Rhonda used to be able to see me, but then she stopped. I think it's because her parents aren't nice.
They're not nice.
No, they kept saying I wasn't real.
Oh, interesting.
And then they were all like, they made her take these like weird... They said they were vitamins. And when she started taking the vitamins, she stopped being able to see me.
They medicated her.
I guess.
You let me deal with that. I think you and I, kid, I think you and I are going to be best friends, given enough time.
Yay.
And here's the thing. I don't die.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Given enough...
Can I still mess with the light bulbs?
Absolutely. All you want.
Yay!
Alright. So, we'll talk again soon. It was a pleasure meeting you. You're very well behaved.
I try.
You should be proud of that. We'll talk soon, and I'll let you know. Okay. I'll let you know when and if I can see you. If not, my friend here is going to help me.
You know what you could do?
What's that?
Sometimes it takes a lot of energy, but sometimes I can also move like magnets. So if you get like magnets with
letters on them. Maybe I can leave you messages.
That would be cool. I'll see. I'll see
Yeah.
about stopping by the dollar store or like a shop or something, seeing what I can pick up.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna let you go.
All right.
And just know that there's at least somebody here who knows that you're here. Somebody here who at least somewhat understands.
Mhm.
And somebody here who's watching out for you.
Okay.
All right.
And you're getting a dog, right?
Yes.
You're going to try and get a dog?
Absolutely. I will try and get a dog.
Yay. Okay.
All right. Goodbye.
And with that, Ro closes her eyes, murmurs a soft incantation, and Beans, almost as if he was a bubble, disappears in an instant with a soft pop.
I'll look over.
Ro is.
I'll look over at Ro. How are you feeling?
I'll be fine.
Do you need food?
Not yet. So, it looks like they have a few more, at least 3, is what I saw the first time I looked at the building. That kid was one of them.
Yeah, I gathered that. He was killed in a boiler explosion, it looks like.
Sounds like it. Looks like he took the full front of it for your landlord, from the sounds of it.
Yup, and he saved Frank's life as a result.
That's a lot of guilt for someone to live with.
That's also a lot of guilt for a 10-year-old to live with eternally. I'll ask again, are you hungry?
Do you want me to go again and see if we can summon another one?
You're ignoring my question. Better have you fed than having to step in.
Charlie, can you pass me a blood bag, please? Charlie reaches into the knapsack, frowning slightly. He gives her one, and Ro takes a straw, pierces it, and starts drinking from it.
When you channel like that, can you see the others?
Mm-hmm. I have an ability. It's called Sense the Unseen.
Not what I'm...
It allows me to...
Sorry, go ahead.
It allows me to see them all. When I'm doing this ritual, which is a bit more of a specialty from my sire, I have to focus entirely on the one that appears.
Beans was mentioning that one of them might be a little malevolent.
Not unsurprising. Not all of them can be as cute as Bean.
I understand that. And there was something that happened to one of the kids.
In fairness, ghosts aren't exactly reliable narrators. So the one to ask would be either to look into it or someone that's been here the longest.
Frank.
Which I believe you said is Frank. And she glances at her phone. I believe most mortals are asleep right now.
There's one that might be awake. If you're down for having a chat, is it safe to move?
Oh yeah, the circle's been... Since Beans is gone now and I've finished it, we can move now, yes.
Echo will reach into their pocket, pull out a phone, and send off a quick text. To Rhodna.
Okay. Alright.
You awake?
It takes a few moments to respond until you get a thumbs up emoji.
Why don't you come on over? I want to have a chat for a moment.
Within moments, you hear a knock at the front door.
I will get up, unlock the door, and let Rhodna in. And just give out a quick warning. Don't mind the mess in the living room.
She looks at you a bit confused. She's wearing a oversized t-shirt with some boxers, it looks, and one sock. It looks like she literally just rolled out of bed. Yeah, it's...
Did I wake you?
It's fine, Echo. No, I was trying to sleep and, insomnia. So.
Did I wake you?
No.
Okay. What do you know about the history of this building and the people who've lived in it? I'll take Rhodna to the living room and point out one of the chairs. Just have a seat.
She sits down. She looks a bit cautiously at everyone. Rose just smiling, gives her a wave. Rhodna waves back before looking at you.
They're friends of mine.
Oh, sure. The history? I mean, I know a bit of it. Grandpa, Grandpa, he loves to tell a good story once in a while.
Has he ever mentioned a kid named Beans?
Beans? Wow, I haven't heard that name in a hot minute. Yeah, Beans. He was, Grandpa's best friend back in the, 50s. They hung out a lot. They were, according to Grandpa and Grandma, they were attached at the hip.
What happened?
Let's see, it was 1957. It was during the rainy season. I think it was early mid-spring. Beans had gone down to the boiler room for some reason. There had been issues with it before, and once something set it off and it exploded, poor kid, he was alive for 10 minutes afterwards, but he passed away. I was told it was possibly brain trauma because of the shrapnel. Grandpa still feels so guilty about that. That's why he's always so keen on making sure the maintenance of the building stays up to code and stuff.
Interesting. What about other people?
From the 50s, or?
Traumatic incidents throughout the years. Has your grandfather ever mentioned anything?
I mean, some of the stuff he tries to hide from me, but I mean, there's been some things here and there, one time one of the steps suddenly gave way and it broke someone's leg. That was mostly due to bad damage to the stairs and stuff.
Not what I'm talking about. I'm
Okay.
talking about people that may have died here.
Oh.
Unusual circumstances, or suspicious circumstances, or just something that stands out.
Well, I think when I was a kid, there was like a man that hung himself in one of the units. Like when I was like a toddler, I think. I remember because my parents and Gramps wouldn't let me go anywhere near that apartment. It's the one in the basement. I think we've had like maybe, I mean, this isn't exactly traumatic, but we have had like 2 kids who passed away, but that was, they were like infants, so it was infant death syndrome, I think it's called.
Anything suspicious about those?
One of them was nothing about like the first one. The first one was only like a couple of months old, so I mean, my parents said it happened. But 1 second as I see if she remembers this bit. When I was a teenager, we had another one who passed away, and I remember overhearing my parents say how it was odd because the baby was like 14 months old, and apparently that it's not as likely to happen. Like, it can still happen, but like they are both surprised to hear about it.
How so? Details.
Well, so I technically wasn't supposed to overhear this, but I heard walls are thin and stuff. I think the couple used to live in your apartment back in the day. Walls are thin though, and their bedroom was right next to mine. The autopsy report apparently showed nothing, and typically, from what I understand, I'm no medical person, but typically as I quickly look up, because this is actually a term. Because typically it's SIDS. Apparently SIDS happens between 1 month and 1 year of age, but the baby was like, I think 14, 15 months old, so it was out of range for like
What did they, other than
the
that,
reason.
what did they find odd about it?
Aside from the fact that it was SIDS, I think it was. Okay. Way to go, Rhodna. Actually, I'm pretty sure what had happened was the baby had been playing in the living room, from what I was told. Grandma had made like some pie for the couple, and I came over. I dropped it off. The baby had been playing in the living room, happy as can be, and I left. And then like 30 minutes later, all of a sudden I hear screaming, and apparently she passed away suddenly. I always thought that was kind of weird, but my parents said that sometimes it just happens. I don't know. I never got into the medical field and stuff. Why are you asking exactly?
Digging into some of the history of the building here. I'm sure you've noticed odd things that just tend to happen.
I mean, yeah, sometimes.
You know what kind of things I'm into and the type of stories that I write. I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together.
Are you suggesting the building's haunted?
I am. By more than one.
Okay.
I'm looking into it.
I mean, oh, okay. I mean, anything is possible, as I've recently found out.
You're now part of this circle. I'm going to go get you a chair, and you're going to stick around for a moment, because we're going to have a chat with somebody.
Okay, sure.
Somebody that you know. Potentially.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to go get Rhodna a chair.
Okay.
Put it down.
She will sit down.
Look over at Ro.
You want me to call him back?
First, Rhodna. What happens in this room stays in this room. You don't talk about it to anyone.
Oh, of course.
Otherwise, I'll be forced to step in and make sure you don't.
I understand.
Good. Would you like to see what happens when we peel back the veil?
I mean, yeah, of course.
Okay. The next question I'm about to ask you is going to be a little hard for you to answer. Sorry, the next couple of questions. Do you know who Beans is? Like, have you met Beans?
I mean, I used to have... Grandpa would tell me so many stories about Beans that I apparently used to have, like, an imaginary friend named Beans.
And your parents medicated you for it, right?
How'd you know that?
You stopped being able to see him?
I mean, yeah, because imaginary was my imaginary friend Beans.
And Beans doesn't exactly like your parents. Because they took away a friend.
Echo, you're making it sound like I was seeing ghosts.
You were. Would you like to say hi?
She
Echo's completely
is clearly shocked for a
Echo's
moment.
completely straight-faced.
She is shocked for a moment before thinking it over and nodding her head.
Okay. It's going to be a quick visit because then we have somebody else to talk to. Understood?
Yeah, of course.
You'll be able to talk with him later. I'm going to be picking up some fridge magnets. We're going to make friends.
Fridge magnets?
Letters.
Okay.
So Beans can leave some messages. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, okay. Sure.
While Ro is doing her thing, you do not leave that chair. Under any circumstances. Otherwise, bad things
okay.
happen.
Okay. Of course.
Ro?
Okie dokie. Once again, we do not, as Ro is like preparing, once again, we do not ask complex questions. We do not ask the ghosts to stay longer than they want, and we do not leave our chairs. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. As she unceremoniously cuts her hand once again, Rhodna, like,
Just stay in
jerks
the chair.
back a bit, but stays. Okay. All right.
And trust me.
Ro once again starts to... Okay. Ro once again starts to do the spell work again. You can tell it's the same spell once again. Her lips, however, are curled back, as she's speaking, her fangs elongating, as she has a very messy critical. But she remains focused as the mist of red and purple appear once again and floats over, and slowly but surely, Beans once again materializes, and Rhodna looks at him
Hey, Beans.
slowly.
Hi!
I brought somebody to say hi.
Rhonda's looking at him, speechless, shock, and he just smiles bright, like,
Hi, Ron. Ronnie. Rono.
I don't like being called Rono.
I know. That's why I call you that.
She's looking at him. Beans?
Yeah. About time. I've been bored.
She's still looking at him before saying, "You're the one that's messing with the light bulbs. You used to do that when I was a kid."
Yeah.
Beans, you can't do that.
Watch me.
We have an agreement, Rhodna. We're gonna make friends.
He's the reason Grandpa still has to keep going on the ladder.
Because he likes to play pranks on his best friend, who can no longer talk with him.
Okay.
Take a breath. You're good.
I'm perfect. I'm peachy.
This is a lot to take in, and we'll talk later.
Beans is still looking at Rhodna. Looks between you and Rhodna. He pauses.
Do we what?
I use they, them with you, right?
With me? Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Do we tell them about your little
No. No. I know where you're going with this, and no. Talk about something else.
Fine.
Beans has like this super mischievous little boy smile, clearly like, I like to get into trouble and I know what I'm doing, and Rhonda's blushing a bright red. Just...
Echo's like great big grin on their face.
Okay. All right. You've been here the entire time.
Well, yeah, where else am I supposed to go?
I don't know. The great beyond? The afterlife? Is there an afterlife?
I don't know. I've been here.
Stay away from that topic. The last thing we want to do is upset.
Okay, all right.
Are you still talking to your parents?
Not recently?
Are you still taking those vitamins?
Yes. Why? They help with the insomnia. They're supposed to help with the insomnia and the depression and...
Yeah. Those pills are the reason you can't see Beans anymore.
What?
They medicated you.
But they're a multivitamin.
Are they?
No, they're not.
Are they?
Yeah, they're like over-the-counter multivitamins.
Yeah? How do you know they're over the counter? Do you pick them up yourself or do your parents?
Mom picks up like groceries for Grandpa like every month and drops them off with the grocery.
Yeah, what kind of container are they in? Are they in a multivitamin container?
Yes,
Have you ever gone in and picked up multivitamins yourself?
I mean, once or twice, but I get a different variety of them, I
Yeah,
guess.
They don't look the same, do they?
Well, no, because my
Yep.
mom gets them at Costco. I don't have a membership.
Your parents drugged your kid.
What?
Your parents drugged you. They thought you were crazy. I'm here to tell you you're not. When you stick around with me, you're gonna see things that'll make you think you're crazy. Because that's the kind of shit that I like. It's the kind of shit that I write about. peel back the veil, peer into things that you didn't even think existed. Welcome to my world. You still want on this ride?
Rhonda has this, like... You basically just shattered her perception of her parents and her world.
Yep.
And Beans, the entire time, who had... It's kind of looks like you should have gotten, like, a booster seat for this kid, because he's very much on the small side. He actually, like, reaches over and, like, pats Rhonda
Okay.
on the arm, and...
It's okay, Rhodna. You know what I am. Shouldn't be that much of a surprise to you, quite honestly.
You just told me that my parents have been drugging me since I was, like, 10 years old.
Yeah, and you know what I am. The drugging you should be the least of your worries at this point.
I never liked them. They keep trying to get Frank to move.
Yeah, they want him out of the building. I'm not gonna let that
Yeah.
happen. I'm not gonna let that happen.
Good. Okay. I'm going to take this one step at a time.
We'll talk. We can talk.
Okay.
But what you get with me is no bullshit.
Okay. All right. All right.
So, we have a quick chat, then we gotta check in with Ro, and then we have one more conversation to have with somebody else.
Who?
Don't know yet. We'll find that out when they show up.
Beans blinks before looking at you. Wait a second.
Not friends. I promised you, remember? The mean ones I don't make friends with. All I want to do is talk. Just like I did with you.
I don't want her here with them.
Then we can make her, or we can have her, go back home.
I'm a part of this.
He's mean.
She's also under my protection, remember? You know. I'm assuming you know exactly the relationship, the connection that she and I have. I had a talk with her.
So that's what you kids are calling it these days.
I had a talk with her, right?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. She's one of mine.
Okay.
I'm not happy about it.
I know. And I will protect her. Have a little faith. I got this.
Okay. Wait. You know who you'd probably really like to see?
Rhonda blinks. Who?
Aaron.
Her face, like, slacks completely. What?
Yeah, Aaron.
Seems like
Rhonda looks at you.
You know Aaron?
I should hope so. She's my grandmother.
Seems like
She's here?
Seems like you got a gift.
Apparently.
Yeah, she's here. Although, in fairness, she's able to do... Okay, so you know how I like light bulbs?
Yeah.
And the boiler? So Erin, Miss Erin, I guess I need to call her Miss Erin now, even though I used to call her Erie back in the day. She was a swim instructor back in the day. So she's really good with water. You know how sometimes your water suddenly, like, gets really, really hot or really, really cold?
Is she the one that put the water all over my backpack the other day?
Maybe? I don't know. I haven't seen her recently, though, so she might be resting. Sometimes if we use too much force, we go away for a bit.
Okay. Well, we're not going to bother you too much longer. I just wanted to reacquaint you two and, allow you guys to say hi.
Can you get rid of the vitamin?
I will see what I can do.
Rhonda actually speaks up. Beans, if they are actually medication, it's not that simple.
We'll work it.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Okay.
We'll be back, okay?
Okay.
Remember, you've got somebody who knows you're here. You've got somebody watching out for you. We're friends,
Okay.
remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't turn my back on my friends.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
And Echo will look over at Ro.
Once again, similar thing. Ro places the chalice down, says a few words, and with a snap of her fingers, Beans dissipates yet again.
How are you doing?
Give me a minute.
Charlie, get her a blood bag. Or two.
Charlie looks at you. We're out. She's gone through 6 tonight.
Okay. It's up to you, Ro. Do you want to push it? You're the one that knows where you stand.
One second. Wits plus resolve for Ro. You see that Ro. The first thing you notice that something is wrong is the fact that even when Ro's mask dropped a bit, she still had like that slight sway or bounce step. She is eerily still. She is looking down at the table, taking slow breaths. Can you roll me a
One moment.
plus aware? Oh,
I'm actually in the process of doing something the moment I notice that. Just give me 1 second. Just need the instructions here. Do-do-do-do. Where is it? Does not require a rouse check. But we are going to have to make a competing roll. Manipulation and presence for me versus composure and intelligence for you.
okay then.
Manipulation plus presence, so 2. Oh, this is going to go great. One success.
You beat her because she rolled nothing.
I'm going to, as I activate awe, I'm just going to start speaking. If you're having trouble, you need to get a hold of yourself right now and let us know what you need. If you don't, I'm going to have to physically step in, and I'm not a fighter. I really don't want to go there. Take a moment and steady yourself. You've got this. You're better than this, and you know it.
With you activating awe, I want you to roll a wit plus awareness check for me, please.
Wits is 4. Awareness is 3. And one of those gets replaced with a hunger dice. One second. 4 successes.
As she tilts her head up to look at you, she is trying to take slow, calming breaths that perhaps once upon a time would have worked if she was human. But as you know, vampires don't need to breathe. If anything, this seems to be more out of a habit than anything else. And as she's doing the deep breaths, you do see that her fangs are the sharpest you have ever seen them. And it almost seems like there is a second set of them right behind her canine teeth. Before she says,
Chris?
I need blood.
Chris? I look over at Chris. Just
Yeah?
remember how I told you might have to step in tonight? Now's your chance, kid.
Uh-huh.
I've got your back. We've got your back. She needs
What,
food. She
what
needs
do
food.
I do?
Give her your arm.
Okay, he holds out his arm, and in an instant, faster than anyone can see, she suddenly grabs the arm,
And then I look over.
sinks her fangs into it.
Instantly, Echo looks over at Charlie. You ready?
He hasn't taken his eyes off of her, and you do see that under the table he is holding the stake.
Echo will get up out of the chair and move over to the side of Ro.
Okay, so homebrew rule for her is, for Ro, whenever it comes to this, because I believe it is a wits time plus resolve roll for what I'm going for Ro. Because of what she's doing, she gets a -2 penalty.
Okay.
All right. She is drinking.
Yep.
She seems ravenous. Chris, on the other hand, seems to be in a state of pure bliss as he's just like,
What are you feeling?
it feels weird,
Yep.
like not in the bad way.
Do your limbs feel cold or heavy at all?
No.
The moment that changes, you need to let me know. If you even get a hint that it starts to feel like that, you need to let me know.
Okay.
If your mind becomes sluggish and cloudy,
Okay then. As after a few moments, Chris starts to speak, Echo, and all of a sudden, without warning, Ro throws herself off of Chris, down on the floor, just hands over her mouth, shaking, and Chris is like, okay, yeah, that feels weird.
Instantly I'm at Chris's side. I'm gonna pick up his arm and I'm gonna seal the wound. Lick it.
Thank goodness you did, because she did not.
Yep, I know. And then Echo is going to stand up. Just lay there for a moment. You're gonna be okay. And then Echo's gonna walk over to Ro.
Charlie is currently kneeling beside her, gently rubbing her back as she is on her knees, forehead pressed against the ground, her hands still covering her mouth as she is shaking.
You did good. You pulled off. You did good.
She doesn't say anything, and Charlie looks up like, give her a second.
Understandable. I'm gonna go make sure Chris is okay.
He nods, still gently rubbing her back, as saying something very softly to her.
Echo will walk back over to Chris Chris. Just kind of sit down beside him. And then we'll look up at Rhodna.
Rhonda's just like wide-eyed, like,
This is your new reality.
okay.
This is what we get into. This is what we do. This is what I do. You are going to see things that will absolutely blow your mind. Things that may give you nightmares from what I gather. We're going to be getting into shit you have no right knowing exists. We get the power to do that. We get the power to forge our own destinies. This is the trade-off. You help me to exist and survive. You help those that are helping me to exist and survive. You get to come along for the ride. Until as such time you decide no more. Or something happens. It's not an easy life, it's not dangerous. It's not an easy life, it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
The choice remains yours for the moment. There will come a point where you will have to make a choice, and that choice will be final. But for right now, the choice is yours.
She has looked at you the entire time before her eyes, like, dart to the side to look at Ro, where she says softly, Is she okay?
She has issues feeding from people.
Oh.
This is one of the very few times she has been able to actually pull back. But we didn't have another choice.
Okay, then.
Do you still want in?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Then down the rabbit hole we go.
After a few moments. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say I'll look down at Chris and see how he's doing.
The best way to describe it is he kind of looks like he's high.
Yep.
Is it always like that? Damn.
I don't know. I don't have that knowledge. I'm new to this. Only been this way for a few days at most. My life changed. I haven't yet forgotten what it's like to be human. And I don't know if that's what it's always like, or if there's differences. Did you like it?
I mean, is it weird to say yeah?
No, not at all.
Rhonda speaks up softly. Did you find out you have a new kink? Lady, I don't know you well enough to discuss that right now.
She's like you, Chris.
Okay. I still don't know her well enough to discuss my kinks.
Then you're gonna need to talk about that.
Okay.
Get to know her.
Alright. Okay. Eventually, Ro slowly stands up. Charlie has given her a handkerchief, which you're kind of surprised to see in this day of age. And she's just wiping her mouth clean.
Better?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Echo looks up.
Better.
You did good.
Thanks.
You remember that
He
night?
looks at her.
You remember that night? You pulled me off the waitress?
I mean, it was less than a week ago, so yeah.
If you hadn't stepped in, she'd be dead.
Yeah.
I haven't touched a living being since then. I don't know what I'm going to be like in that respect. I know where
It's
you're
different for everyone.
It is, from what I gather. But you did good.
Chris speaks up. You good? You full? I'm good. I'm not full. You want more? No.
We're never full. The only way, from what I've been told, for us to be full is you would have had to die.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, we don't have any plans on doing that.
Okay. So, we gonna try summoning Big, Dark, and Mysterious?
Are you capable of handling that tonight?
Oh, darling, I just ate. I'm great.
Yeah, you also went through 6 blood bags tonight.
Yeah, see, that was mostly because of the stuff we had to do before with, like, the liar thing and me pretending to be alive thing.
And yet you just barely managed to contain yourself.
I can go. I'm good. I know what I'm capable of.
Look up at Rhodna. If we need, are you capable of stepping in?
Like to stop her or to give blood?
Exactly what Chris did.
I mean, if that's what you need, then yes. She says she's not looking at Rose. She's saying that she's looking at you. As she says this sentence.
This isn't a me choice. This is a you choice. You still have free will. I didn't take that away. I could
want to
have.
help.
I didn't.
I want to help.
Okay. Then you are going to have to trust me implicitly with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Good. If you're sure, Rome,
Mm-hmm.
we'll pick Chris up and we'll put him back in his seat. And you had better be damned sure you're ready for this, because after Rhodna, I'm tapped out.
Charlie slowly looks at you like, what am I, chopped liver?
She said if anything happens to you, I'm held responsible. You are worst case scenario, if that at all.
He slowly looks at Ro. She's noticeably not looking at him.
She wants to make sure that you are safe. And I get the feeling that if you were to succumb, that I wouldn't be alive for very long.
I mean, we can get into the whole ways vampires stay human bit at a later date, but you're not wrong.
And then you are not the one.
Okay then.
Do I make myself clear? And Echo's voice just drops like a couple of octaves.
Charlie looks at you with a raised brow. We're clear. Don't take that tone with me. You are not the boss of me.
I may not be. Don't tempt me.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, you're all pretty.
Rose says as she starts setting up again.
Echo looks over. Says nothing. We'll grab Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Find out if he's good enough to sit in the chair without moving. How wobbly is he?
That is an excellent question. Let us see how wobbly Mr. Chris Tyson is. He can sit in a chair. Don't ask him to walk a straight line.
Then I'm going to help him into the bedroom and put him on the bed.
Okay.
You do not move. You just lay here and rest.
Okay. Can do. I'm gonna take a nap, I think.
You do that. You're safe.
Great. Awesome.
Go out, remove the other chair. Or remove the extra chair now.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it back against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And before we continue, I need a quick break.
Chris is asleep on your bed.
Hmm.
The first person besides you to sleep in your bed for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You, Rhonda, Ro, and Charlie are currently all sitting at the table as Ro is preparing yet again to try and summon another spirit. This time, instead of the ever so lovable beans, something darker. Someone that Beans has said you shouldn't be talking to. Someone dark, possibly sinister. Or who knows, perhaps Beans is an unreliable narrator in this sense. Ro is once again humming softly as she pairs the ritual. So just so we all know, this might not be a good idea, because we don't know who it is. We also don't know how old it is.
Can you shut it down if things go sideways?
I mean, yeah.
Ghosts might not be my specialty, but I at least know how to shut them up.
Okay. You're the safeguard.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you're the emergency brake.
You got it.
We've got you.
Excellent. We all got each other. Does anyone need to use the bathroom before we start? She says, looking at Charlie and Rhonda.
Echo just kind of
I'm
stops for a moment. That's an odd question these days.
To realize we don't need bodily functions? Yeah. It takes a bit to get used to.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Got lost in
It's
thought
okay.
there for a second. Trying to figure out how that works.
It's
That's a question for another day.
Yes. Rhonda and Charlie both reply in the negative. Okay, same rules apply, especially since, well, we didn't know who we were summoning with Beans, but Beans has said that maybe this isn't a good idea, but also we don't know for sure, because sometimes kids are wrong. Sometimes they're eerily accurate, she says as she gets the chalice closer to her. All right. Any questions before we start?
Do we have the numbers for next week's lottery?
No, but I know a guy who might be able to get those.
Cool. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Let's get started, she says as she once again slices her hand as she starts saying the words for this ritual. Okay. Message. Once again, smoke. The colors of purple, blood orange mix as the blood falls into the chalice and slowly form to the chair opposite of Ro. The shape, much larger than Beans was. And slowly but surely, a man who is wearing a white-colored shirt with a dark blazer over top. He has thick glasses that are just perched on his nose. Hair that's also slicked back. Looks like maybe the style is reminiscent of the late 90s, early 2000s. And once he fully materializes in his non-corporeal form, looks around, a bit confused. Oh, Hi?
Hello. What do we call you?
Sorry. It's been a while since people have been able to talk or see me. I'm Nick.
You're Nick.
Mm-hmm.
How long you been around here, Nick?
Time's weird here.
Yeah. Best guess.
About maybe like 20-ish years, I think.
What do you remember?
I remember a lot, so you're gonna have to be a bit more specific, sweetheart.
Fair. Give me one quick sec while I pull up my character sheet.
I'm gonna make a roll for Charlie.
I'm gonna do a wits plus insight roll.
Okay.
4 and 2, and along with a hunger dice.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch! 1 success.
What were you trying to do?
Trying to figure out what kind of feeling I'm getting from this guy. Kind of like energy, what kind of aura he's putting off, what kind of just the atmosphere that he exudes, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Makes complete sense. And I'll roll for Rhonda. Okay. So you're looking at this guy. He seems like your average guy. Like not boring, not interesting, just someone you would see every day on the streets. Rhonda's looking at him like, I don't know what to make of this guy, but also she has like this uneasy look on her face, but you can't tell if just because, oh god, she's seeing ghosts again.
What you feeling, Rhodna?
I'm not sure, she says, looking away from the ghost before freezing when she looks at Charlie.
Look over at Charlie.
Charlie is glaring daggers at this guy.
Charlie, what's up?
He reminds me of someone I do not care for.
Who?
If you were to ask Ro if she was able to speak right now, her grandsire.
How
Nick,
similar does he look?
Oh no, it's not in looks. Nick looks, I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or not. It's not.
Nothing against you, Nick. I'm just gonna stare at Charlie again. Just give us 1 second. And we'll have I just want to chat.
Nick looks at you. Yeah, of course, no issue. He's noticeably avoiding eye contact with Charlie now, looking straight at you. What can I help you with?
I'm looking at Charlie. How similar?
You know the phrase, a sheep in wolf's clothing? Or I guess in this case it's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
And Echo will turn their head back to Nick. Why don't you tell me a little about yourself? Who are you?
Nick glances at Charlie, who's still glaring daggers at him. Average person. I lived here for a bit. I was a manager at a supermarket. that's just a couple streets down. I don't know if it's still open, but yeah, just lived by myself. Came here, went to work, came back, slept, ate.
What apartment?
I lived in the basement.
In the
One of the basement units.
basement, huh?
Basement units, yeah.
How's that working out for you?
I mean, I can't complain. I can move around the building, as it were, like the others, of course. But I keep mainly to myself, really.
What happened to you?
Well, things got kind of dark back in the day. And let's just say I kind of took matters into my own hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about the other residents in this building? I'm not talking about the ones who live here currently.
Oh, you mean like the others like me? Let's see. I know for sure there's at least... I think there's like at least 2 others, maybe 3. Like I said, I keep myself. I'm kind of like an introvert like that. But there's Beans, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Good kid. Great kid. There's Erin. She's a more recent addition, I guess you could say. I think we got like a couple others, but they're not as, I guess the term would be pronounced in a way. They haven't found like their footing here yet, so weak personalities and all that.
You said things got dark for a while. How so?
You know how sometimes the brain's just mean stuff. So, just took matters in my own hands.
Ever had thoughts of doing that to someone else? Echo's like stone-faced at the moment. Not like literally just not moving.
What? Why?
I'm just curious. I'm just trying to get a gauge for who's in the building.
Okay. Well, like I said, there's for sure me, Beans, and Miss Erin.
It's more I'm trying to get a gauge of what people are like.
We're just like everyone else. Can you roll me a wits and awareness roll, please?
Sure can. 4, 5, 6, 7 with a hunger dice. 4 successes.
Okay. The roll goes to the attacker. The more this guy is speaking about how things went dark, took matters into his own hands, you know that part's correct. And although you know some people are better at hiding depression, anxiety, some people are good at hiding that better than others. The more you look at this guy, you don't think that he is actually telling the truth about the matter. Can't quite put your finger on it, but there's something about it that's not white there.
It's been a most pleasant conversation, Nick. Thank you very much for kind of the insight into you. Appreciate this.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I'll be in touch again, just to have a chat. See.
Of course, I'm more than willing to speak with a lovely person such as yourself.
Indeed. Well, I won't keep you too much longer. I won't keep you any longer, really. We'll chat soon.
Okay, then.
Have a good night.
You as well. And Ro, taking that as cue, ends it, and Nick disappears in a small pop.
Immediately snap my eyes over to Ro.
Ew. Gross. Gross, 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 gross.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine, but no, Charlie, I saw it, like, ooh, ooh.
Impressions?
Rhonda speaks up first. I mean, he seemed okay. Just like I don't know. He was odd, I guess, but I thought that was just a ghost thing.
Odd
But
how? Like, very, like, edged tone to Echo's voice at this point.
It wasn't anything he said. It was like a vibe, like those guys that would look at you weird in convenience stores
Like,
and stuff.
Like your food. Like
Yeah.
your plaything, like you're a toy.
Yeah, kind of like that, but like, I don't know, I guess he was better at hiding on it. Charlie speaks, or maybe you're not just good at looking for it. Charlie!
I think she's better than you might think, Charlie. She picked up on it. So did I. And it looks like so did Ro. Can you say the same?
Charlie's not saying anything, but he has like this deep scowl on his face, and Ro just sighs, pinching the bridge of his nose.
He lied.
Yeah. He did.
Now.
And
Go ahead.
well, so I couldn't really speak, but when Charlie said he reminded him of somebody, I mean, I kind of saw it too. My sire's sire is better at hiding the beast than most of our.
Okay. Was that him?
Oh no. First of all, my sire's sire much more handsome than whatever that was. Also, did not have that kind of fashion sense. It was more like a feel, like you're looking at someone and they're putting their best foot forward, but you can smell or feel there's something under the surface.
Something wrong there, something rotten.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out that our little buddy, Beans, might not be so might not be quite so mistaken. And now, I've got a mystery. Now I've got a story.
You were looking for one of those.
Echo's gonna look over at Rhodna.
Hmm?
Do you know where the archive buildings are? The city archives?
I mean, yeah, I think they're like a couple of blocks away from here.
How good are you at looking up information?
Pretty decent. I guess I never told you this, but I am going for graphic design, but also I have a minor in historical researching.
Oh. Excellent. One moment. Let me think.
It's more of a hobby, really, but when I saw there was a course for it, I decided to take it to fill my roster.
What university are you going to? university or college? Where are you enrolled?
Where on earth did I put your character sheet? Did I forget to save it? I did. I am not a smart Purina.
Just the local one. I didn't want to move too far from Grandpa, so
Okay, I'm not an Edmonton local, so I'm gonna say it's like Edmonton University or like that equivalent.
So McEwen's the one I went to. However, we also have the University of Alberta. Not
All
too
right,
far
yeah.
from here.
University of Alberta.
That's beautiful. They have an extensive library. I have a task for you while I'm sleeping.
Okay.
I need you to sift through... Do you have class tomorrow?
Tomorrow... Yes, but I only have like 2 classes in the morning.
I need you to start sifting through newspapers.
Okay.
I want you to find out when this building was built.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to find out what was here before.
Okay.
I want you to find out any odd occurrences or suspicious deaths that have happened on the property.
All right.
And anything else odd you can find.
Okay.
Chris and I have another task. You're gonna help me write.
Okay.
Good. In return for this, we'll take a look at those pills of yours, find out if your parents are actually drugging you like I think they are. And if they are, we may go have a chat with them.
I mean, I guess, but I'm kind of low contact with them right now.
Yeah, that's fine. Why don't you go get me your pills and we'll take a look at them right now.
Okay, yeah, sure.
She stands up. Wait, she pauses before standing up, looking at Ro.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You can stand. Thank you for checking, though.
She nods. Oh, okay, and like stands up and goes to her apartment.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna look over at Ro.
Hmm.
At some point, I'm going to need you to teach me a couple of things.
Okay, what do you want to be taught?
Well, our new buddy Beans needs a friend. And I'd like to be able to see him on a more than casual basis when you're over. I'd like to be able to chat with him every once in a while. And I think you said you have something that allows you to do that?
Yes. So I have an ability called So remember how I said like sometimes there's some overlap with the different clans and different families and all that? So my family is able to do a lot of things that are like mental based. Typically we are not good fighters typically, but one of those things is called auspex, which I think you actually have a bit of that, because I saw how you were able to catch or hear what Charlie and I were talking about even though we were super quiet. And a fun fact, you can actually probably do this then.
Okay. What can you do for that magic working that you do?
So an easier question might be, what can't I do?
I still haven't figured out how to be able to walk out in the sun. That is still a thing that's very, very, very hard to do for us. I can do wards. I can track some people, depending. It really depends on how far down the rabbit hole you want to get to. The blood magic bit, it might be a bit more difficult because sometimes bad things happen.
Yeah, it's the blood
Because
magic
every
that
time
I'm
we use
interested
our... Okay. Anything in particular you're looking for?
in. Mostly options.
Okay. All right. Okay. I say as I pull up what the fuck Tremere can do.
I think you mentioned to Serafina you want to be like sneaky investigating reporter.
I want to be able to get information. I want to be able to get around unseen. But I also want to be able to watch my back, if that makes sense. Maybe I have a little more punch than I used to. I'm exploring options at the moment.
Of course.
If you can't think of anything right now, that's okay. We can talk later.
Well, there's a few things we can. So there is a difference. Dungeons and Dragons. Do you play Dungeons and Dragons?
No.
Okay. So there we have our spells that we're able to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's like quick, easy, bam, 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 bam. That's what I was able to do with the truth spell, the truth lying, blah 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 blah.
Okay.
Ritual is what we were doing just now.
Okay.
That's kind of like a homebrew ritual I did with that my sire made so we could commune with ghosts and stuff.
Let me think about that then. I'll get back to you on that.
Mm-hmm. I could teach you how to walk on walls like a spider. That's a fun one. It's a great party trick.
That's kind of cool. I'll let you know about those.
It is cool. Okay. There's another one. Although I don't know if you'd want this given your relationship with Raylan. And it's also a bit more advanced to communicate with your sire. But I don't know if you want to do that or not.
Nope. I meant what I told her. Her hands are washed of me. She gave me what I wanted.
In that case, I'll be your sire now. I'll be the best sire you ever had.
So you keep saying.
Mm-hmm. Charlie is very noticeably trying very, very hard not to laugh.
We can talk about that at a later date.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Rhonda eventually returns. She is holding you. When you look at the bottle, it does look just like one of those drugstore multivitamin bottles that you see at like Costco and stuff.
And I'm gonna take the bottle from her, take off the lid, put a couple in my hand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do they look like?
They're gum. They're actually. So they're all brown gummies.
Brown gummies.
Can you roll me? Let's see, what kind of check do I want? I want you to do a intelligence and It can be your choice, either medicine or investigation.
One moment. I want to check something here.
Okay, you check away. I love it when you check things. It means something fun's about to happen.
Where is it? There it is. What is my... I'm going to use intelligence and investigation. That's what I have the strongest background in. 4, 5, 6, 7, and with the hunger dice. However, I'm also going to roll a rouse check
Oh,
for a blood surge.
okay.
That is my first rouse fail of the game.
Oh, you feel the beast starting to claw at its cage. You actually start to hear the small voice in the back of your head that is just aching for blood, wanting to feel that sweet, sweet vitae enter your system.
Echo takes a moment.
As the beast, however,
Go ahead.
you feel it, you hear it. It is both unnatural and yet a part of you.
Echo is going to take a moment, is going to close their eyes and steel themselves against this a little bit.
Hmm?
Where is... Oh, what page is Blood Surge on? One second. You said I'm 9th gen, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, I need to figure out what my... generations... Where is it? Where is it? Blood potency 215, I think. Just give me 1 second. (28) 20 blood potency. That's for thin blood. I want for generation here. 3rd, 4th, 6th through 9th, mostly embraced before modern age. Blah blah blah. Once began, beckoning calls them from their towers and nests. So 9th has minimum blood potency of 2. This is something I forgot to add to the character sheet. Give me 1 second. Blood potency of 2 and max of 5. If I flip over here, that means I get 2 dice added. Damage mended, 2. Discipline power bonus, add 1. Discipline rouse check reroll, level 1. Bane severity, 2. Feeding penalty. Animal and bag blood slakes half hunger. One second. Add that to my character sheet quickly. So, this means I get 2 dice added.
Mm-hmm.
One of those gets replaced with a hunger dice, because I now have 2 hunger. Which means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dice.
Okay. What did you roll?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Oh, okay then. You're looking over these gummies. You've seen these multiple times, commercials, friends that have taken them. You used to take them before you became broke. They look the exact same, they feel the exact same. Give them a smell, they smell the exact same. And as you're turning them over in your hand, it catches your eye. At first you don't think anything of it, but the closer you look, you see it. The faintest of holes, as if someone had injected this with a needle. And as you look at the other ones, each of these has the finest poke from a needle.
When I was taking these, I'm assuming they didn't have that hole in them.
They did not. You would almost miss it, because typically people don't actually look at the gummies.
I'm gonna look up at Rhonda.
But it's faint.
I'm gonna look up at Rhonda and point this out. Somebody's
She
been
looks at it.
tampering with your gummies.
But I'm gonna have to stop taking these, aren't I?
It's up to you. I'm not gonna tell you yes, I'm not gonna tell you no.
But I mean, I'm not a doctor. Is it safe for me to suddenly stop taking them? They're supposed to be a multivitamin.
Ro, do we know anybody who can do chemical analysis like composition?
See, I'm more of a mixologist. I know a little bit about medicine. She is using all of her brain cells right now to think it over. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Victor might know a bit about it. I think he used to work in the medical field back in the day.
Then perhaps we should
For a bit.
Perhaps we should go talk to Victor.
Victor doesn't like us right now.
I am gonna have to talk to him at some point.
Who's Victor and why does he not like you right now?
Victor is one of the individuals at the Velvet... As Echo starts to say the word, the mouth freezes. Victor is an employee at a place I hang out. things happened. You find Echo stumbling over the words. We can't talk about that here.
Let's just say there was an altercation and someone Victor cared about kind of got stuck in the crossfire.
Okay, well,
Rhonda blinks.
Okay.
if that doesn't work, then do you have any more of those like truth potions that you used?
I mean, I can make one.
I think it's about time we had to sit down with some parents.
Can we just talk to ghosts again? I think
I know you don't want to, but if they are screwing with you, I want to know about it. For the moment, don't stop taking those gummies. Give me an address. Let me go do some digging around.
Or
Give me your parents' address.
Oh, okay. She's gonna write it down. It's actually in a much nicer part of town than where you guys are right now. Like upper middle class.
You said you're not on talking terms. I'm going to ask you a very pointed question.
Okay.
If something happens to them, how will you react?
She looks off to the side. She noticeably looks at the wall that divides your
i-
apartment from hers.
There is no shame in answering that question any way that you are comfortable, any way that... The more truthful you are, the better off it's going to be for me. There is no shame in answering that question, honestly.
Grandpa was the one that mainly raised me. It's why I became friends with Bean. I was here more than I was at my own house. My parents... You know those people who you look at them and you question why they haven't just gotten a divorce yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's them. They argue a lot and they love to argue about me and stuff, so I went low contact with them and told them I needed some till they sorted it out. I'm pretty sure my parents have like narcissistic personality disorder. It's hard being around them, so if something happened to them, I mean, I'd be upset about it the same way anyone would be upset to lose like a parent, but at the same time it's like they're not they are my parents, but they're not the ones that raised me.
If I make a judgment call about something, would you be okay with it?
I trust your judgment.
Good. Then tomorrow night, I mean, it is getting quite late. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna have a talk with your parents, I think.
I mean, if you're sure, I don't know if I can be around them right now.
I'm not
I
asking.
don't know
I'm
how
not
they'll
asking you
react to you.
I don't care how they react to me.
Okay.
They can't touch me. There's almost a gleam in in Echo's eye. And for a moment, just a brief moment, again, that flash of almost red bleeding into their eye before it disappears. There's something cold and predatory about Echo's voice.
I mean, Echo, you said so yourself. You're not much of a fighter. My dad's like, he takes martial arts. I don't want you to get hurt or anything. Just, I can deal with my parents, really and truly. I can. Just, I don't want you getting hurt.
I have this nagging in the back of my head. Something that I'm not quite used to yet. It's taking a while to get used to it, you know? It's taking a while to adjust. It's hungry. You see Echo lick their teeth for a moment. Canines sharpening just a little bit. You are mine. And when people fuck with what's mine, may not have been this way, this extensively when I was human, but now I have license to do things. Sure, I'm carefree most of the time, curious, inquisitive, but I'm not human anymore, and there's something else there now. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But I get protective. And if they are drugging you, that's a no-no.
Rose speaks up. You know, if you're worried about them going alone, we got muscle on our hands. And Rhodna looks at Ro. Ro, no offense. You're kind of built like a string bean?
She's not talking
no,
about,
not me. I'm not a fighter.
She's not talking about her and Charlie. There's somebody else. Somebody that, I mean, I wouldn't mind looking at for the night.
Rhonda looks at you. Wait, what?
Let's just say I wouldn't mind sinking my teeth into them a little bit.
Ro perks up. And if we tell him what this is about, she has like this knowing smirk. Let's just say he doesn't take kindly to this sort of thing either.
Alright. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go make sure Chris is okay.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go to bed. We'll gather tomorrow night. I'll meet you, well, I mean, you know where, now that I've got the address. Rhonda, you don't have to worry about a thing. You just go about your life. Don't stop taking these until I tell you. Or until you hear from me.
Okay.
Life is normal for you.
Okay.
Again, there's a gleam in Echo's eye. It's almost maniacal. Just, there's something going on in Echo's head. People could see it. It's more like a power trip. This is gonna be great. And Echo will head off into the bedroom.
And that is where we will leave session